blue insert in the bulletin. Okay, this is the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Cincinnati. We are a creative spiritual community with a vision of humanity awakening to its wholeness and a mission to embody and teach spiritual principles. Now, join me in the identity prayer. We know that within us there is that life which is perfect, complete, and divine. It was never born and cannot die, for it lives and it is God. Within us is the wholeness, peace, poise, and power of life. This life is health, it is abundance, it is love. There is one life, and it is the life of God, and this is our life now. And so it is.
Please rise and join us once again on I'm Choosing Heaven Today. It's also page 1.
Semi-homeless person. As we moved the last load of stuff out of our flooded home on Friday, I was talking to my daughter as I was going in to get something to eat, and I told her I looked like a homeless person. And she said, "Mom, a homeless person does not have 4 storage units full of furniture." As many of our practitioners and some of the rest of you know, I fought having flood insurance with every ounce of my being because that area has not flooded until last week ago Wednesday for over 100 years. I am so glad I lost. It has been an interesting experience, and I pray that none of you ever have to experience.
Amen.
Thank you.
And also, would you please know with me that Bill and I and the cats find a place to live so that my daughter and I continue to love each other.
So it is.
I will also tell you that there are no more zombies in Miami County because my grandson and I got rid of all of them Thursday. The grandkids are loving us being in the back. And Lisa and Scott are doing okay, but we do need to find a place to live soon, because it will be a while before we can get back into our, at that point, absolutely new home. And the party we were planning to have will probably be delayed a few months. It may be a Christmas reception. So you will all be invited. You should never give a minister a microphone. First, I will now do the official part. Please silence your communication devices. I know Reverend Dee is going to say some absolutely awesome things that you want to take notes. So if you want to have that ability, continue to do so. I listened to this service from last week and it was awesome. And I know do we have any guests? If you would like a welcome placket, please raise your hand and one of our board members, council members will raise their hand. We'll give you a packet. I can't tell you how well my brain has not worked this week. It has been perfect. We have opportunities for prayer. I think one of the most dynamic elements of this movement and this teachings is prayer and the power of prayer. And I know the power of prayer has supported me, my personal prayer, the prayer of our practitioners, the prayer of each one of you through the past 10 days. And we have opportunities for prayer before service, after service, by appointment, via the prayer box, via the internet, via calling any of the practitioners or Reverend Dee or I. We are always available for prayer and take advantage of it. And each of you know how to pray yourselves and take advantage of that too. We do have announcements on the insert in the bulletin. Take a moment to review those. There's additional information on the back table. We got a flyer in the mail today that says that Reverend Michael Beckwith and Ricky Byers Beckwith will be in Westlake, Ohio, which is up on the Lake Erie on July the 5th. If you're interested, we will get you information. They are awesome as we sang their music today, so keep that in mind. Please join us on Wednesday evenings for our midweek service, which normally includes reading, meditation, songs, and prayer. We are continuing to do the CDs that give us the opportunity to hear the movers and shakers in our denomination from the conference in Orlando. They are awesome. Are we doing, when are we doing Gene Houston?
That'll be last, probably in a couple of weeks,
Yes.
2 or 3 weeks.
Gene Houston was the keynote speaker. It was absolutely phenomenal. And we do have that.
I believe this week we're continuing the community building series, the panel on that.
The panel was tremendous too. I mean, all of them were great. I highly recommend being there to hear them. And June the 7th, which is next Saturday, the Service Circle volunteers will be participating in Paint the Town, Cincinnati. Joni, is there anything else they need to know other than signing up on the website or letting you know?
That's all. Today's the last day. I need to take the sign-up sheet with me.
She will take the sign-up sheet with her, and if you have a Center for Spiritual Living t-shirt, wear it so they know who we are. Next Sunday is the pre-second Sunday service, Sunday school, and social time, also known as at 9:30 for any interested adults. And they have so much fun in there. They laugh so hard, you would enjoy it. This morning, immediately after service, everyone is invited to meet in the front of the sanctuary for visioning, which is our time for seeking Spirit's highest vision of itself in our community. And before we go into our community chant, I believe the after-service lunch bunch is meeting today at the Green Dog and Columbia Parkway. And would you please raise your hand so Jeffrey or Dylan can get a count?
Green Dog, Columbia Township. Columbia Tuscaloosa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, have reservations under CSL. Thanks.
During one of my favorites of his chants, Holy Light of Love, number 8A. You can stay seated.
8A.
contemplative part of our service, I am honored and most humbled to be standing here to pay tribute, to pay homage to Dr. Maya Angelou. Dr. Maya Angelou was the Science of Mind magazine spiritual hero of the year and was featured on the January 2014 issue of our magazine. She was an award-winning poet, civil rights activist, and she died at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina this week. My heart was heavy as I recall fighting tooth and nail in 1972-1973 as a freshman at Withdrawal High School, having to read a book called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I have not been in touch with my teacher, Barbara Kithcart, who required that reading, I thought it appropriate last evening to look her up on Facebook and thank her for the transformative things that happened to me in my life after reading that book. She was born Marguerite Johnson, and I tried, as we always do in the Johnson family, to find if she can, is she related to us. She was born April 4th, 1928, in St. Louis, Missouri, and was raised in Stamps, Arkansas. Dr. Angelou experienced the brutality of racial discrimination, but she also absorbed the unshakable faith and values of traditional African American family, community, and culture. On her birthday, April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. It was not a happy birthday for Dr. Angelou. It was not a celebration for millions of us. I was a 10-year-old little Negro girl, downtown Cincinnati on 5th Street, shopping with my parents for Easter. I had no idea why my mother cried, why she fell to the ground in her 6-foot cinnamon-colored stature, and my father had to beg and plead with a yellow cab driver to take us home to Avondale. He did. On the way home, we realized that the Avondale we knew was on fire. It has never recovered. Dr. Angelou continued her fight for civil rights, standing, loving, accepting, not tolerating, accepting, and that's a wonderful feeling. Little did I know that as an executive for Key Bank, a little over 10 years ago, I would share, and I use that word loosely, an elevator with Dr. Maya Angelou at the Cincinnati Convention Center. In my JJ way, I know how to talk. However, I lost my way in the elevator that day. I looked at this tall, beautiful, graceful woman in her African garb with her cane, and I'm thinking, I got one too. And I said, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? She smiled at me, and she said, yes. And then she looked at me and said, hello. I said, from the cotton fields of Stamps to the White House, from the street corners and urban centers to stage and screen, this woman, Dr. Angelou, with the melodious voice, was an incomparable wordsmith. On USA Today and several other sites this week, they had her top 30 quotes. And one that stuck with me was, when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. I pay homage to her today with one of her famous poems as our invitation. Still I rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Do you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted with pain, I rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bare in the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear. I rise into daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. And so it is.
And so it is.
That was great. What to say after that? Oh yeah, this is what I'm going to say after that. I'm Reverend Dee Coy. I'm the other minister here at Center for Spiritual Living, here in Cincinnati. It's summer. For those of you who did not get the memo, Jerry, you know, it is that time of year where we can, you know, let down the hair and be a little more casual, like to a limit, of course. You know, we don't have a dress code here, but I don't know that spandex is going to serve anyone in this room. I'm just saying. Gotta be careful what you ask. Amen. It is June, and this month our theme is living on purpose. And last week I got to tell you a little bit about my purpose in ministry. We talked a little bit about the special purpose of this community as a creative spiritual community, bringing that purpose to the essence of what it was. And this week we get to talk about your purpose, your life's purpose, right? Kind of big. Georgina, yeah, she's got her pen, she's ready. She's been looking forward to this one. It's big because it overwhelms all the rest of our lives, all the rest of our busyness. Our purpose is about our money, how we make it, how we spend it, right? It's how we raise our families. It's what we do every day. It's our job, it's our career, it's our education. It's how we have pleased people in the past. It's how we please ourselves in the future. It's what gives our lives meaning. So it's kind of a big thing. Kind of serious, really. And kind of like so many of the things that we talk about here, we can look outside of ourselves and find some sort of an example of it. Some way of taking that which we find in nature, which tends to be more perfect, more in line, more easy to see, and to bring that in our own lives. There's a group of people who are called marine biologists. That's it. In that island country over by Australia.
New Zealand.
New Zealand, thank you. Anyway, they study dolphins, and they've studied like hundreds of dolphins for thousands of hours over many, many years. And what they found is that even though they're very playful and that dolphins never do anything by accident. They always do everything on purpose. I'm sorry. There's just not a lot of purpose humor out there. And like I said, it's a big deal. It's serious. But it's not as serious as we make it all the time. And I think that's one of the points here. What is purpose? Okay, it's a noun and it's a verb. I hate those. Purpose is a noun, as in the purpose of passing out the baskets is to collect money. But purpose is also a verb. We purpose the flow of prosperity. And you know what? You can use either one of them here in this, what's my life's purpose? Because what we know about life, we see life on two fronts, right? We have that inner life, the spiritual life, the life of our being, the essence behind what we see. And then we have that life we do see right here, right now, on this planet. Now, they're both valid because they're both the same. That's what we know. That's what we know when we get out of this idea of duality outside of God up there and us down here. The idea that there is only one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is perfect, whole, and complete. It is my life now, and it's your life now. It's what brings us all together. It's what transcends that inner and outer. So in this context, what is the purpose of my life? We can use purpose as verb, or we can use it as a noun. And in the case when it seems like both could work, we can do the all of the above thing. Because it is all of the above. It is all the same. Our life on earth is finite. If anyone was wondering. Yes, it's not too late to plan, but it will be over. It has the life that is our essence, the life that is truly who we are, has no beginning and has no end. These may seem very different, but as Troward says, they are identical. And it is only on how we look at them that gives them the difference that appears in them. But their nature is the same. They are the same life, and that's what we believe. Holmes says this. Oh, I brought our book today. And the Science of Mind text, I need one of those ear things. When he's talking about the principles of successful living, if anybody was wondering about the principles of successful living, they're right here. Okay. We may be quite emphatic. Now, he doesn't say emphatic very much, so pay attention. We may be quite emphatic in saying that we think the universe exists for the expression of spirit. And man exists for self-expression because he is the expression of spirit. Man does not exist for the purpose of making an impression upon his environment. Ooh. He does exist to express himself in and through his environment. There is a great difference. Man does not exist to leave a lasting impression upon his environment, not at all. It is not necessary that we leave any impression. It is not necessary if we should pass on tonight. That's his way of saying this life is over here. It is not necessary if we should pass on tonight that anyone should remember that we have ever lived. All that means anything is that while we live, we live. And wherever we go from here, we shall keep on living. That's the promise, that's the ease, that's the grace. This is our teaching. This idea of involution and evolution is what our teaching symbol shows, right? We have spirit, true identity, spirit outside of time and space, and we have involution, where it is seeking to come into form. This idea that spirit is always trying to find ways of expressing itself in the more, the bigger, the better, the expansion of spirit itself. And one of the ways it does that through the law is to come into form. And that's what we call involution. And when it gets here in form, that's our experience of life. So we have the spiritual life, we have the human life, the same life. Two sides of the involution V, right? That's what we teach here. Simply put, the life of spirit is, and our life is an expression of it. All life is the expression of spirit. And so the purpose of life there is to express spirit. That's it. It gets really, really simple. It's not a big deal. In fact, you cannot fail. What we know about perfect spirit is that when it speaks its word, which in this case is life, and that life comes into form, there is no failure there. There is no way that this can fail. Spirit is. Life is an expression of spirit. So the good news is, if you have taken a breath, you have succeeded in your purpose. Right? That's it. Don't be beating yourself up. It is extremely difficult. It's impossible to fail at this level of purpose. Oh, there I went with one of those level things, right? Perhaps there's more. And there is more. But I just want to make sure that we're very, very, very clear on this. That there is nothing we have to do. Spirit is about being. That's what this life is. The purpose of life is to be, not to do anything. That's what Ernest said. It doesn't matter if you make an impression on this earth. It doesn't matter if anybody remembers you tomorrow if you leave. What's important is that you live while you're alive. If Spirit's purpose for your life is to express itself as you, and you are already doing it, then what remains to be done?
Grocery shopping.
All right, now we're getting somewhere, right? There is something else. If you're going to take that next breath, that second breath, then there is more to do. And now we come to volition. Oh, that word. That word that's about free will. That word that's about choice. That word that is about, is there more? And if so, am I going to do more? So what is life? Life is spirit expressing. Life is spirit expressing. Life is spirit expressing. What is the more in that? What more is there to know? There's more to know about life, and there's more to know about spirit. Right? I'm guessing that's why a lot of us are here. Right? We want to know more. It is not a requirement, like we said. And there are probably other places where you could go and spend your Sunday morning where you're not going to learn any more about spirit, and you're not going to learn any more about life. You're not going to question any more about spirit. You're not going to question any more about life. But every person here, I know, has made a choice. And I think most of the people on this planet are making a choice. And even if it's a choice not to, we know that that's a choice. You can't lose. Seems like you can't win, but what it is you can't lose. Even when you fail, you cannot fail. You simply learn better and succeed. I am convinced that Spirit's purpose for your life is your life. That's it. I am convinced that you get to choose any purpose above and beyond that. And that's where it gets a little more dicey. How do I determine my life's purpose? Or how do you determine your life's purpose? Now, once in a while, people will ask me, what is my life's purpose? And you know what? I'd be happy to tell you what your life's purpose is. But in the end, it would probably be a little more about me and a little less about you. So there you have it. Spirit doesn't care, because in Spirit's eyes, if Spirit had eyes, you're already done. You already fulfilled your purpose. I can't tell you what your purpose is, and no one else can either. And so it's up to you. And that's what sometimes sucks about being an individualized expression of Spirit. It takes a willingness to work, a willingness to ask the questions, and a willingness to fail. Has anybody failed at trying to determine what their life's purpose was?
Never.
More than once?
No, never.
Never. All right. We have one never and one multiple times. And that's what's great about being in spiritual community, right? We get to support those that are succeeding through success and those that are succeeding through failure. All the same thing. All life. All the experiment. Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. As I understand it, she is speaking to a woman who's not very happy with her past and made terrible mistakes. I'm guessing had been a horrible person. A failure in anybody's eyes. But Maya could look at that woman and said, you did the best you knew how to do. And I know that's true for us. We always do the best that we know how to do. And she said, and when you know better, you do better. When you knew better, you did better. When we know better, we will do better. And that's the promise. And it's just a matter of willingness. We don't have to. We don't have to do any better than we did. We already did the best we could. But we get to. We get to choose. We get to choose again. There's a similar story in the, that's not a similar story. There's another story that's kind of like this in the Bible. Jesus is teaching, and the Pharisees bring in a woman who's a prostitute. Okay, bad past. Bad choices, maybe. The law was very clear. You're a prostitute, you get stoned to death. It's pretty cut and dry. And so, when they asked Jesus what to do, by the law, it would be stone her to death. He had more of those Angela answers. You know? Seeing beyond the past, knowing that the past never controls the future. The past is never who you are right now. The best that you did is never the best that you're doing now. It's never the best you're going to do when you know more. And so he was able to say that. If anyone has ever failed, let them be the first to throw the stone. Let them throw the first stone. And like you, they all had to think about it a little bit, you know. There's a couple that said, oh yeah, I failed, and they left. And a couple hung on, especially the younger ones. on and on to, you know, well, if I have to be absolutely honest, maybe I kind of missed the mark a couple of times. So I don't get to throw the first stone. And so Jesus looked at her and he said, where are your accusers? And they weren't there. They weren't around. And like Maya, he said, go, do better. You did the best you could do. I love you. When you know better, you do better. It's a happy day. Way back in our evolutionary history, when we were little one-celled animals, we did the best we could, knowing what we knew. And we didn't know much. And it took a long time to make that next leap, right? Do you remember? But each time we learned more, and we got better, and we got faster, and we moved and grew and evolved into what you see today. And I'm pretty sure we're not done. But what I know is we did the best we could. We're doing the best we can now. And I'm willing to learn a little more, to know a little more, and to do a little better. Let's just finish with that, if you would, with me. And just repeat after me. I did the best I could.
I did the best I could.
As I know better,
As I know better,
I do better.
I do better.
So it is.
And so it is.
Actually, a joining in song that Audrey and I are going to do with you. We're all going to start together, and then we're going to divide the room down here.
That's easy today.
And
Already
these
divided.
people follow lovely Audrey, and these people follow me.
And freed from the key.
And we start off together, and then we're going to go into harmony. That's why half of you are following me and half are following Audrey. And these are the words, and it's very simple, and there's no wrong way to do it, so don't worry about it. Just enjoy and open. It's all about surrender. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening, I am opening, opening, I am opening. So that's the whole song. The first part is, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. And the second part is, opening, I'm opening, opening, I'm opening. So just enjoy. If you want to stand up and groove, you can do that.
So it's a round of sorts.
It's
So
going
I'll
to
hold
be
in
a
one
round.
part. It's going
Yeah,
to
it's going to be.
And I'll hold one part for you all, and she'll keep it.
And then we start off together, and then if you watch Audrey, you follow her, and then when your eyes start to glaze over, we will stop. Or we'll all ascend.
Or the other.
So just as soon as you get it, just join in. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening, I am opening. in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous. Say I'm opening. We are. I am opening. We are 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 opening. We do this every Friday at my house, if anybody wants to come by.
Let's just take that moment into prayer. We can. That opening of the heart, that opening of the mind, the opening of the soul, the opening of all that we are in this life, in all life. And we just envision our own selves, each one of us, open to the involution of spirit itself, that highest self, that which is absolutely created in the image and likeness of the I am that I am. It is that life that reflects the life itself. That is my life now. And just as all that is spirit seeks to express itself, seeks to expand itself, seeks more of itself, I know that that same seeking is taking place in the hearts and minds of each person in this room, the hearts and minds of each person on this planet. We rest in knowing that spirit is all there is. And this thing called life the expression of spirit in form is absolutely taking place. In full alignment of spirit itself, there can be no other way. And we are left with the promise, the more, the infinite potential, and we are at choice. And whatever the answer, good. And all is well. And as it should be. And so it is. If there are ushers with some baskets, according to purpose, we will porpoise the abundance in and through it as His community. We have a statement. Spirit, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I will see.
I wrote porpoise on my back.
Very creative. As we close out this service, I give thanks for all that have shown up, for all the gifts, for all the tithing, for all the knowing, for all the saying yes to the more and the more and the more and the more, seeing it show up, seeing the expansion of spirit, feeling it in my heart, feeling it in my mind. I give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Join me in song. Stand up.